chopping the legs early in round 2.
Izzy is doing well. Oh shit. An eye poke. No! No! What? Was he out?
He topples the former champion.
Alright, so UFC Saudi Arabia is just done and I have a bunch of thoughts. So first of all, let's start from the top. By the way, welcome to MMA Soap Opera. Make sure to hit subscribe and ring the bell. Israel Adesanya versus Nasruddin Imavov. That's the fight that I just finished watching. And I think that Nasruddin Imavov was fantastic. He was doing super well, but I do feel bad for Israel Adesanya because it really feels like the first finish that he suffered against Alex Pereira when he wasn't necessarily out yet, but the referee decided to step in. I wouldn't be surprised if that is gonna be his rhetoric coming forward. I wish it wasn't stopped. I wish we could see a couple of more seconds at least. I don't know, to me it totally seemed like Adesanya was totally capable of defending himself and possibly getting himself back in the fight. But yeah, hey, props to Nasruddin Imavov. He looked really sharp, he was very patient, but Izzy was really good as well, so man, I'm really disappointed. I was really hoping to see at least a couple of more rounds, you know, because it's not very often that you see Israel Adesanya to fight. Nasruddin Imavov is fantastic prospect, and I'm really curious to see how he would stack up against, for example, Chimaev. That's the matchup that I would like to see. Most likely what is going to happen is that Imavov is gonna fight the loser of the fight next week, the fight for the belt, of course. So that is going to be either DDP or Deshaun, and the winner is probably gonna fight Chimaev. I'm not sure what to do with Israel Adesanya now, to be honest, but it really does seem like new era of MMA fighters is here. Alright, co-main event, Shara Bullet versus Michael Venom Page. And if you watched my previous video, I was actually talking about how I'm not that impressed by Shara Bullet as everyone else is. I think that he's a really good fighter, but in my opinion, Michael Venom Page kinda exposed him. Once you have a really good movement, once you're really fast, once you keep the distance, you're probably gonna be able to outpoint him. I thought that MVP looked pretty good, despite having an obvious dead bot in this weight class. But yeah, he put on a typical Michael Venom Page performance. He was really fast, in and out movement, blitzing jabs and overhands, including of course blazing kicks. I think there was one like spinning back kick that was just fucking amazing. So yeah, really good stuff. I think that Shara Bullet has a little bit more work to do in an unranked territory. And MVP, yeah, he's going back to his weight class. I'm not really sure what is gonna happen there, but I think that this was a nice little detour for him. He got a really good win, and finally he defeated a fighter with a really good, in my opinion, like hyped name. Alright, Sergey Pavlovich versus Rozenstruik, and this was a really weird fight. Like, to be honest, I was really surprised that Sergey wasn't able to finish Jairzinho, because I gotta be honest, when they were showing highlights of Rozenstruik, most of the highlights were like super old fights, like versus Alistair Overeem and then someone else as well. I don't know, in my opinion, there should be a new rule in place that UFC shouldn't use any highlights from more than 3 fights back, because otherwise it's just ridiculous. I don't know, I can't think of a single time in the past couple of years that I was impressed by Jairzinho Rozenstruik, and that's why I'm a little bit disappointed that Sergey wasn't able to do more. It really seems like that loss to Aspinall made an effect on him, because he really seems a little bit gun-shy these days. This was a really similar performance as against Volkov, and I don't know, in my opinion, Sergey Pavlovich won only because Rozenstruik these days is just a massive rolling potato. So yeah, Said Nurmagomedov versus Vinicius Oliveira. This was another strange one. Once again, in previous video I was talking about how high I am on Vinicius Oliveira these days because I was watching his previous fights and I was super impressed. And I gotta be honest, once the fight started, Said Nurmagomedov just took over. The first round he was all over Vinicius and he was doing so well. He was super aggressive, the punches were super heavy, he was very technical, incredibly athletic, and he was putting it on Vinicius Oliveira. He was so dominant. So, to be honest, I can't believe that Vinicius Oliveira won that fight. And it wasn't even that controversial, right? Of course, at the end of the fight, he was talking about how hurt he was. He was talking about his rib, about his injuries. I wonder if this is one of those situations when it's not Vinicius Oliveira who won the fight, but more Said Nurmagomedov who lost, if you know what I mean. He totally went out in an unexpected way, to be honest. Vinicius Oliveira, he usually has this swagger about him, so maybe that's what I was missing. But again, if he was injured, I guess we can give him a benefit of a doubt, and he got the win as well. So yeah, actually a good fight. Actually a good fight. Moving on. Farezian versus Mike Davis, and oh boy, this was a big old bloodbath. So I was actually expecting Mike Davis to win, but in my opinion, he got caught off guard by the weird fighting style of Farezian, especially in the beginning. Like, the dude was so awkward. He was kind of reminding me a smaller version of DDP, to be honest. I thought that Mike Davis did still pretty well, but Fares just outgrinded him, basically. So yeah, Farezian won by unanimous decision, and yeah, that's basically the last fight on the main card. But this was a really fun event. I would give it like, I don't know, 7 out of 10 probably. I wish there were more events in Saudi Arabia, to be honest, because I live in Sweden and all the events that happen in USA, those basically start at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the night, and dude. So what I'm usually ending up doing is that I'm going to sleep, then I'm waking up on Sunday morning around 8:30, something like that. I'm making myself a cup of coffee and then I'm watching all the fights. But this was nice. This was really refreshing. All right, what did you guys think of this event? Let me know in the comment section down below. What was your favorite fight? What do you think about the stoppage of Israel Adesanya? I still think that one was a little bit weird. Nasruddin Imavov looked really good. I was just hoping that we would see a little bit more. That's it. But yeah, if you like this video, make sure to also hit like, but also subscribe and ring the bell so that you don't miss any upcoming videos. We're talking about MMA, UFC, all the drama that is happening in the background. Thank you very much for watching, guys. This was Sergey from MMA Soap Opera, because that's what it is.